Here we have the 4-hour price chart for Tesla Incorporated, stock ticker TSLA. Here we can see that the stock is seeing a bit of a stabilization here at mid levels. We are looking at the 4-hour chart, so some of these price movements are a bit small in nature, and the reason that we need to do that is because we are looking at some fairly significant trend moves that are currently developing. If we're pulling out to a longer term time frame here, we can see that these trend movements are starting to become more significant on a longer term basis. But if we're kind of drilling down more specifically into these recent price zones here, we can see that we're kind of flatlining here a bit at mid levels. We are forming a bit of a lower high here. Most recently, the highs came in at 265.60. And of course, this is a failure to retest the prior highs at 271. So that is a little bit of a concern here, but we have not yet tested support levels here near just above 233. It's this white line here. This is where I've been pointing to previously. So, we haven't quite reached those levels yet. And this is significant because we're seeing major sell-offs in some other stocks. And when I say some other stocks, I'm talking about mega cap stocks. I'm not talking about small caps or anything like that. We're talking about very substantial price moves in other areas of the market. And these are other Mag 7 stocks. In particular, what I would really be pointing to would be Meta Platforms, the Facebook parent company. There are some massive declines there, and if you're interested in the broader market here, I do suggest that you take a look at that video because there have been some major downside moves there that I've been signaling for quite some time, and I do think that they're really weighing on the rest of the market. If you're a Tesla trader, a lot of this downside has not really materialized. So this would be, one question that I've been asking here with these recent videos is, do you think that there will be winners and losers this summer in the tech space, or do you think that the technology sector will simply kind of track itself and, all stocks will rise on one day and then they'll all fall, in tandem with one another. These performances will largely match one another. Or do you think that there will be some divergences here where we see some mixed performances with some tech stocks emerging as winners and other tech stocks emerging as losers? The reason that I ask this question is because we are seeing some of these differences happen already. If you look at Meta Platforms or even Nvidia at this point, Nvidia is making some very very significant price moves lower, but we're not really seeing that at this stage with Tesla. We have seen some downside here, but these moves are really minimal when compared to what is being seen in some of these other stocks. I do suggest that people look at the Nvidia video as well as the Meta Platforms video to see these differences. So there is some downside here, and we're not breaking these prior highs. And some people might be concerned. Is there a major top in place? Currently, the way the broader market is looking, I don't feel that to be the case because these declines here have been really minimal compared to what we've been seeing in other parts of the market. So currently, we do have to drill out a bit here to try to get some other price levels to watch. As we can see here, we've already broken through these December 28 highs, which came in right around 265.12. We're even now we're trading above that level, so it's clear that level has been broken. Overall, what this really means is that this broader downtrend here has completed itself. It has run its course. This downtrend is no longer in place, and we're seeing a major reversal pattern here with Tesla price shares. So all of this information here, all these this trend activity is being confirmed by the indicator reading itself. Even though we have spent a lot of time here in overbought territory, the declines have been minimal. We're really just kind of trading sideways here. And when you see this sort of price gain, these incredible rallies that have been developing in Tesla, normally, if this was any other stock, you would expect prices to be retracing much further. Probably a 38.2% Fibonacci retracement, which would put the stock all the way back at, just above 220. We're not seeing anything like that. We're still trading, relatively close to the 250 mark. We did just take a bit of a drop lower here. That's a bit interesting. We did just see a little bit of a significant sell move there. But overall, this price chart has really managed to maintain itself in ways that are much more stable than some of the other stocks that we're seeing. And and then we're even talking about the Mag Sevens here. So, these are not small companies. These are not small caps. These are very significant price moves where large amounts of money are coming in and out of the market. And the overall effect here on Tesla really has been minimal. I mean, I can't emphasize this enough. We have to look at this overbought region here, where the stock was just trading in heavily overbought territory, and this went on for quite a while. I mean, we entered into overbought territory last month. This would be the 28th of June. We really started to kind of enter into overbought territory, and this maintained itself, almost until the middle of the month. I mean, we're talking about June 11th here. So this is a long period of time to remain in such overbought territory. This is a massive, massive price movement higher. Um, overall, some people might be concerned about these recent uh, share price moves lower. We have failed to test the prior highs at 271. But this is not surprising at all. This is actually more encouraging than anything else because, the broader trend momentum here remains positive. We're no longer in overbought territory. The share prices did need to recover a bit retrace themselves a bit after, trading in overbought territory for such a long period of time. And then in addition to that, we have these broader sell-offs in the market. They're really only having a limited effect on Tesla share prices. So, overall here, trading volumes remain mostly positive. We have seen some instances of downside pressure here. We can look at this big red bar here as an example of increased levels of negative trading volume for the stock. So it's not all positive here, but for the most part, we're really holding very strongly here in the face of what is a substantial market sell-off in the other direction. So Nvidia at this point is kind of bucking the trend. As far as I'm concerned, Tesla is kind of emerging as one of the winners here for the summer period. um, and you can compare this definitely to Meta Platforms and even to Nvidia, to get some comparisons here about how this outperformance really does match up to the rest of the Mag 7 stocks. Currently, Meta Platforms is looking like a true loser in this scenario, and even Nvidia. Tesla is managing to maintain its gains, and this does put it in the win column overall. So now that we've broken through these resistance zones at 265, we do have to move out here a bit to look out to the prior highs from this would be July 2023. So we're at almost a year ago here, where these prior highs came in at 299, just below the $300 mark. Overall, what I'm expecting to see here is a bit of a consolidation before we're able to see another run higher. It might be difficult to do that if we're seeing broader sell-offs in the market. People just might be too nervous to step into the stock and start to buy aggressively. But as long as we can kind of form a base here above this 235 level, I definitely think that we're in store for some additional moves higher here once the dust settles in the rest of the market. So here's the current market analysis for Tesla Incorporated, stock ticker TSLA.